Babe, I want to use your phone to call my mom. Can I have your password?
Oh, bring it then. Let me unlock it.
Can't I just have your password?
I'm not saying you can't have it. Just bring it. Let me unlock it for you.
What's the big deal you giving me your password? Or is there anything you're hiding from me?
Not giving you my password doesn't mean I have anything to hide from you. You got to trust me, babe.
I can only trust you if only you can give me your password.
Hello and welcome to the program Hot Button. When trust is broken, a relationship can no longer be considered as one of truth. Trust is a principle we all have to learn. And a trusting reputation is one that is based on the level of what you say and your level of action. Those are the things that can be considered as the character of a trustworthy person. My name is Johnny, and with me in the studio are
Chinwe Ajebu.
and
Onella James.
welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Today, we are going to be looking at something I consider very, very important in a relationship, and that is trust. We are looking at trust in a relationship. Now, let me understand your opinion about trust when it comes to boyfriend-girlfriend relationship.
Thank you. Okay, so for me, my opinion, trust is the foundation of every relationship. Whether boyfriend, girlfriend relationships, mother, daughter relationships, every kind of, even the relationship we have with God requires trust. So for a relationship between a boyfriend and a girlfriend to stand, trust definitely has to be there. So it's like the pillar upon which every other thing stands. That's my
Okay.
opinion.
It is like a pillar upon which everything that has to do with relationships stands. Be it girl, boy, family, whatsoever. Trust is a strong pillar. In your own opinion, James, what would you think?
I would say trust is the most important element in every successful relationship.
Okay.
It is what drives the relationship. Without trust, you'd definitely crumble on the way and
Okay.
you won't go far. But with trust, you'd be able to go far in your relationship.
Okay, with trust, you'll be able to go far in your relation. You called it a very important element, a very important element in a relationship. I would call it a very important ingredient to make every relationship tasty. Now, let's look at how trust is important to a relationship. Now we have looked at it as a pillar, as an element, as an ingredient. How important is trust in a relationship?
Okay, so I would liken the importance of trust in a relationship to someone having a favorite clothes,
Okay.
and you've agreed to enter into a relationship with a person. So when you've agreed, you've made that person like a favorite.
Okay.
So we assume you got a dress and you're wearing it. So it's like something you're wearing every single day. That's how important trust should be. It should be like a present factor in the relationship, like every day. You wake up, you're waking up to the realization that you trust this person.
Okay.
Is that important? Like something you can't let go of. That's how important it should be.
Wow, something you cannot let go of in a relationship. Meaning, if trust is out of that relationship, there is no relationship.
Yeah.
All right, James, how important is trust in a relationship?
Personally, I would say it's the most important thing in the relationship. I mean, it's what keeps you going every day. I mean, realizing that you love someone,
Okay.
then it helps you build your trust. In
Okay.
fact, if trust is taken out of the relationship, love would definitely die. So I think trust should be the most important thing in every relationship, and that would
Okay.
help us build love better and to keep moving ahead.
So you're saying trust galvanizes love.
Definitely.
Now, how do we interplay between trust and love? Can we love without trusting? And can we trust without loving?
That's a tricky question. Okay. Can we love without trusting?
Trusting and
can we
trust
trust
without
without
loving.
loving? I'd like to say I don't agree that that is possible. I
Okay.
don't think you can love without trusting, because trust is like a sister.
Okay.
A sister. I'm looking for something that is deeper than,
Okay.
something that is stronger than the bond between
Okay.
brothers and sisters. Because if you love someone, it propels you to trust that person.
Okay.
So it's like, I love you. So whatever you say to me, whatever you do, I believe in you, I respect you. Now, can you trust without loving? I'll also say that's not possible. But in the context of people who have cordial relationships, or let's say civil relationship, you trust your boss
Okay.
because you know he's going to pay you.
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily mean you love your boss.
Okay.
So in that context, you must not necessarily
Not
love
necessarily.
to trust.
But in the context of
Of relationship, definitely. As long as the word relationship is involved, you can't trust without loving.
Because the reason I asked that question is there are times you are in a relationship with someone, maybe someone who was recommended, and then they tell you how trustworthy this person can be. But deep down, you're not feeling that love. But the fact that everybody says this person is trustworthy, is this and that, you're not developing love, yet you have so much trust.
Because you respect that person.
Okay. And then on the other hand, you just love this person so much, you can't let go of this person. And then this person can't be trusted.
By others or
So,
by...
yeah, by you who love this person so much, and then you are still finding yourself with the person. You know what? You're a liar. So why are you not leaving me? I'm a liar, but you're still here. We've heard that so many times. So how do we, manage a situation like that, James?
I think in situations like that, no matter how you want to describe it, trust is still there. If there's no trust, you'll definitely not still be with the same person.
Okay.
It's because you trust the person, that's why you still have the courage of telling the person you're a liar. I mean, it's still that trust in you that propels you to know if the person is doing something wrong or doing something right.
Okay.
I mean, trust comes in, trust gives you the courage to challenge your spouse, the person you're in a relationship with, to tell them you're wrong.
Okay.
You're doing something right. It's the trust you have in them and you want them to change that propels you to do all of those things.
Okay.
So, I mean, without trust, I mean, your love would be nothing. And you can't trust without loving too. Although in some instances she mentioned like casual relationships,
Okay.
you might not really bring the ideal love into it.
Okay.
But general love, we love people. We love them because we're all children of God.
Okay.
I mean, trust without loving them would be unacceptable, would not be right.
I think from what I'm gathering, it looks like we can have love present
Okay.
as Christians. Maybe when in a relationship there is love, but trust makes the love grow. The love might just be there, and then when the trust is not present, the love doesn't grow. You understand?
Yes.
And then trust on the other side can make you begin to develop love towards somebody, because if you see the consistency in a person and then this person does this thing the person says he or she will do, it will begin to endear you to that person. So that's the reason I brought that question. Trust can induce love. And then without trust, love will be stagnant and may not grow. All right, that takes me to this very complex question, I call it. Should my partner's past determine my level of trust for the partner?
Okay, that question, I don't know why it's making me laugh. The question is should.
Yes.
I would say it shouldn't,
Okay.
but in reality it does, because I am a human being.
Okay.
And there is no way I would not think about my partner's past. So if he has been promiscuous in previous relationships and he doesn't tell me, and now we're dating,
Okay.
and I kind of find out that he has slept with a number of women, he might even have children with some of these women, and he claims to love me, it would, okay, now the picture I'm trying to paint is in our relationship, in the
Yeah.
relationship I have with him, he doesn't do it anymore.
Okay.
But his past tells me, okay, that this is the kind of person he was.
Okay.
So there is no way I wouldn't think about his past. But it shouldn't make me trust him less, because I have seen who he is now
Okay.
in person. But definitely I would consider the fact that he had a past like that. So should my partner's past affect, the trust I have in him?
Okay.
No, it shouldn't. But sometimes it does, because I am human.
Okay, let's hear from James.
Yeah, I want to agree with her on that.
Okay.
I believe the past of a partner should not affect the present relationship.
Okay.
I mean, it's past. It's something before.
Okay.
It's not the reality now.
Okay.
So one should overlook the past and focus on the reality now, the present.
Okay.
That's the most important thing
Yeah.
in every relationship. But as humans, we tend to judge people by their past. Sometimes we tend to, I mean, by the time we see what they do right now, we want to have doubts. And that's where trust comes in. Trust gives you the courage to go out with them and trust them. Like, I know you have a past, but still, I believe you. That's where the trust comes in.
That's where the trust comes in. Now, let's look at it like this. When I trust my partner, does it mean I cannot question my partner when I see her maybe in a very compromising situation?
No, it doesn't mean you shouldn't.
Okay.
But in that case now, you'd say you're being suspicious.
Okay.
And you could say, oh, if you're suspecting me, that means you don't trust me. Now, in the case of a partner, okay, I'm the one complaining or I'm the one being suspicious.
Okay.
Because I've seen reasons to be suspicious. It doesn't mean that I don't trust him. It just means that I am being, would I say careful? No, careful is not the word. Cautious is also
Okay.
not the word.
Proactive?
No, I think the word I'm looking for is concerned.
Okay.
That's it. Because it's like I said, when it comes to emotions, they can be tricky. There is no way, no matter how self-disciplined you are,
Okay.
there is no way you wouldn't feel threatened with the presence of someone else
Okay.
in your relationship. And you might wave it off and say, oh, I trust him, nothing is going to happen. But when you start seeing a level of intimacy that shouldn't be there,
Okay.
and you question, it doesn't mean I don't trust you. But what I'm looking for by questioning is your assurance that I can trust you.
Okay. Your assurance that I can trust you. So, James, what do you think? I see you in a compromising situation. That's my girlfriend. And then I don't want to make her feel like I don't trust her, so I don't ask questions. So when we ask questions, does it mean there is trust issues?
I don't think that means there's no trust issue.
Okay.
I mean, the point is, if there's trust in the relationship, the partner found in a compromising situation would trust the partner enough to open up.
Okay.
Why were you there? What happened? So if you trust your partner, you would open up. I mean, the fact that you trust someone does not mean you shouldn't clear your doubts about them.
Okay.
I mean,
There is actually a doubt to clear. So
Yes.
where's the
I
space
mean,
for trust?
Trust itself would make you want to open up what you have in your mind.
Okay.
I mean, if you trust someone, you don't have to keep grudges against them. Like, I saw, and you don't want to open up. You keep it to yourself, and you treat them because of what you see them doing, whereas you don't know what the real picture is. And so it's that trust that will make you open up to that person. Like, this is what I saw. This is what I heard about you.
Okay.
Is it true? And when they tell you what it is, trust will make you believe whatever they tell you it is.
Okay, all right, hold your thoughts. I've been talking with Chinwe and James here in the studio, and we have been looking at the issue of trust in a relationship. Now, Chinwe, you wanted to say something, but let me hear you out.
Oh, yes. What I wanted to say was as regards what Mr. James said earlier about the issue of trust, still on the
Okay.
issue of trust. For me, I have been in a relationship where the guy had reasons to be suspicious of me.
Okay.
And this is what he would do. He would come and he would say, Chinwe, I trust you. And I believe that whatever it is that you are doing, you are completely conscious of what the consequences of your actions would be.
Okay.
So I don't want to doubt you for any reason. And because I trust you, I expect that you would tell me exactly what is going on. Now, when he says that to me, I just naturally tell him what it is, because my mind would have gone to the fact that it could have something to do with the association I was having with this other person, and he probably feels threatened.
Okay.
So when issues come up where, a reason for suspicion could, come up in a relationship, the guy comes up and says, I trust you, there is a power that comes with affirming that, you know, you trust your partner
Okay.
in order to get them to open up to you.
Okay.
So he was talking about opening up to
Opening
your
up.
partner. This is another way you could get your partner to open up to you. It doesn't mean you don't trust your partner, but you are showing him or her that it's because you trust them that you want to hear what's going on, because you believe whatever the problem is can be, you know, sorted out if we talk about it.
That's impressive.
So
That's like a very new thing that I've learned today. Hey, I trust you so much. I want to believe you know everything you're doing. So can you tell me what's going on? And then you don't have to sound like you're suspicious.
you don't have to
You
sound
don't
like
have
you're
to sound like-
judging.
yeah.
anything. That's
Great. Having heard that, when trust is consistently betrayed, should one still go ahead and trust? Because we have to trust in a relationship. Let me take that from. All right, let me take that from you.
Why? Why is it
Okay,
you?
let's hear from you.
Okay, so James is my boyfriend. You are not my boyfriend.
Okay.
Definitely. Sorry to whoever the girl is. And he's consistently betraying my trust. Will I still trust James? Consistently is the
Yes.
word. No, I will not trust James. Because his consistent actions of betraying my trust shows he's not trustworthy. Definitely, why would I still trust someone who has given me evidences, not just reasons, evidences to believe that he is not trustworthy?
Wow.
So I would not.
You will not have to trust the person
No,
anymore.
I wouldn't.
You won't believe a thing the person says if it's
Definitely
consistent.
not.
Wow. Even as Christians.
Oh, that's even where it's more tricky. Even as Christians, I will not trust the person.
Wow.
Now, when you talk about the Christian point of view, that's when another factor comes in. Because once you've betrayed trust, it's like you've broke, this is a pillar right beside us, yeah? So if trust is betrayed consistently, it's like you're chipping off, you know, parts of a pillar. And you can't suddenly mix cement and put it back and expect it to just stay, go back to original, the way it was before. So
Wow.
you chip it off, it comes down. It keeps coming down. Consistent betrayal, that's what you're talking about.
Yes,
so the
definitely.
pillar keeps coming down and until it, crumbles into pieces and all that. So for you to still trust that person, it has to be rebuilt. Definitely.
Well, before let's hear what James has to say. James, when trust is consistently betrayed, should I trust my partner anymore?
I beg to differ without that.
Yeah, okay.
I would say, we're all humans, and we sin, and we have reasons to come back and beg God for forgiveness.
Wow. Okay.
Sometimes things might not be the way you think it is. Your partner, to you, might have betrayed your trust, or sometimes it might just be from the way you're judging it. Have you, had time to discuss with your partner very well to find out if that's really what you think it is? Though they might betray your trust sometimes, the worst of all sinners can even be saved. So there's need for us to give our partners, second chances, third chances, fifth chances. Give them reasons. Give them enough reasons to come back. This is your love. But it's more tricky when you've entered marriage already. You can't just jump out of marriage. I'd say I would agree with her if that's before marriage. You might want to say you're tired. You can't go again. You can't go along with this again. But when you're married already, you're into it already.
But if you don't practice that right from the relationship, how do you go do that in marriage?
I can say people
Because
change
marriage is
sometimes,
supposed
so-
to be the ground for preparation towards
Of course,
marriage. So if
yeah.
you cannot trust consistently, as much as the person keeps breaking the trust consistently or betraying the trust consistently, how are you going to stay consistent in marriage?
Consistently doesn't mean it has to be, every time. I'm saying you don't just have to give up on the person like that. Give it time.
No,
Give it time.
my own issue is that you said in marriage, you can stay. You can consider and keep trusting, but in relationship, you cannot.
And maybe you're getting me wrong. I'm saying
Okay.
in marriage, at least for a while, give it time in your marriage.
Okay.
Don't just give it up like that. Take time to discuss with your partner.
Okay.
Find out what the problem is.
Okay.
See if it's something you can really solve before you just give up your marriage like that. But what I'm saying is, if your partner is not is betraying your trust, calm down first. Calm down. Don't just give it up like that. Understand that you're human too, like your partner too is. I mean, and people change sometimes too.
Okay.
The man you think really had trust in you before might change in marriage. We've had cases like that too.
Okay.
Where the man would not open up his true identity to you, or the woman would not open up to. But when you get married, you see another man. After he removes the suits, the wedding suits from church, he becomes another man. Or after I remove the wedding gown, she's another woman entirely. So what do you do in that kind of case? You don't just give up your marriage like that. So you take, that's where the power of prayer comes in. You
Okay.
study, take time and discuss with your partner.
Okay.
And if after a long time, I mean a very long time, but in the exception I have is when it comes to abuse. I mean I want to remove my hand off that, please.
Okay.
I'll say no to that.
All right. Well, I think we can also take a cue from Hosea. Hosea married Gomer,
Yeah.
and then he was consistently forgiving.
Thank you.
And do you know how much he went? The
That's the
first child
word.
was called what? Not my people.
Yeah.
That's
The second child was called what? Not pitied. Was it not pitied before not my people? And then at the end of the day, you, the third one also became, you are my people and I am your God. So can't we take a cue
Oh,
from
come
Hosea and then stay consistently forgiving even in cases of betrayal?
I am itching to say something.
Okay, please
Come
say.
on, God.
All right. I'm glad that you guys have answered the same question that you've been throwing up and down.
Okay.
The thing is, he said you should give second chances. You've talked about Hosea and
Yeah.
everything. So in that case, it's not you giving him a second chance. Giving a second chance, always giving a second chance, someone who is consistently betraying you is not because you still trust that person. It's just you forgiving that person. They are two different things.
Okay.
It doesn't mean you could forgive and you still don't trust the person. That's a topic on its own. Okay, and then when it comes to marriage and you say, oh, consider, second chances in marriage, definitely you can't leave your marriage.
Okay.
But, this is the reason why people end up, continuing their marriages based on tolerance. It's no longer that you trust the person, it's that you're tolerating everything because you can't get out of the relationship.
Okay.
So in this case, it's not, once you've broken the pillar of trust, and that person is not making efforts to rebuild it, you cannot trust that person anymore. But if you're in a permanent arrangement like marriage, you can't just jump out of your marriage. So this is just you tolerating the marriage, praying for the person and hoping that God should give you a heart that can still trust him. But the prayer should be that God should help him realize that he needs to rebuild the trust you have for him, because that trust needs to be rebuilt, because this is a consistent betrayal. It's not something that has happened. Obviously, if it happens once, you can forgive and still trust, but the person is doing it consistently.
Consistently. That is the question.
So-
Anyway, I think I get you. Once the trust is betrayed consistently, the love is weathered. The trust you have for the person is weathered. And then for it to be rebuilt, you have to start climbing back up,
Exactly.
doing things that can make me trust you. Now, how can my partner be assured to trust me? So let's hear from you, James.
You have to open up to your partner.
Okay.
You need to be casual in some things. Don't be official. Say it the way it is. Don't
Okay.
hide words. Don't mince words for your partner. Like, this is what happened. This is what I did, and this is what actually happened. So your partner will be rest assured that, no, once I see so and so, I know he or she's going to tell me the truth. Then reassure your partner. Say it like she said earlier. There's a need for us to say that word. Tell your partner, I trust you. Saying those words of affirmation would make your
Reassure.
partner to be reassured every time. Then show it in your actions too. Show it by the way you behave. Like when your partner is not around, what you do behind your partner. Somebody comes to
Okay.
tell you your partner did this, but you tell the person, I trust my partner. And even though you might have your doubts, when you see your partner, you open up. But that moment, even when they're not there, you cover up for them. That's where trust comes.
Okay, so Chinwe, at what point should we give up on trusting a partner?
I don't know why you're asking me that question. That's a very serious question. At what
Okay.
point?
At what point would you give up trusting a partner?
Well, if we look at the previous question that we've been answering about consistent betrayal, definitely at that point you could give up. But I'm a Christian, so I'm going to say we shouldn't give up at all.
We shouldn't give up at all.
at all. As long as your partner is willing to rebuild the trust that he has broken or she has broken, as long as my partner is willing to do that, I would be willing to still trust. So I don't think I can give up at any point. But if he's consistently betraying my trust, I could say at that point I have given up. I could give up, or I have, because obviously that person is not trustworthy. But every trust that has been broken can always be rebuilt. As long as the partners are willing, as long as I am willing and he is willing to rebuild that trust, I'd definitely give him the chance to do that. So.
As long as you are willing and I am willing, every trust can be rebuilt. So James, at what point would you lose trust for a partner?
I think it will be at that point where you've tried everything. I mean, you've even prayed, you fasted, but still, you're still getting the same result. I mean, it would at that point it would only take the Holy Spirit to come and minister to you before you can continue.
That's the extreme.
Yes.
All right. So, as Christian youth, very quickly, as Christian youth, how best should we resolve trust issues?
Talk about it. Talking always helps. Talk about it. Pray about it. Be willing to go out of your way to rebuild it through personal sacrifices, and do something about it.
Okay, do something
And then
about
the
it.
actions.
All right,
is what I'm
James,
talking.
very quickly.
Yeah, I'll say admit you're wrong. I mean,
Admit
own
you're
up your
wrong.
mistakes and be humble enough to apologize, and reduce the level of your doubt for your partner. Learn to believe them too.
All right, dear viewer, you've heard it all. In your relationship, trust is very, very important. You have to be willing enough to give your partner that trust that the person deserves. And you must always be that person who is trusting. Then when we are that person, or when I am that person who is trusting, then my actions will be that which does not need any explaining to do to my partner. At that point, people will get to know that what I say and do are a reflection of my true character. With that, trust can be built and relationships will go on in all honesty. So, this is the most we can give you today. We hope you join us next time, next week, and we'll be bringing you another very topical issue that will be beneficial to your relationship. Goodbye for now.